very good evening to you, and thank you for tuning into Brand Plus TV. It's always a delight knowing that you have made the conscious decision to choose and make Brand Plus TV your business station of choice. My name is Ondiro Ganga, and I am here to bring you up to speed with all the top stories making headlines. And as you know, we're all about business. Here's a glance of some of those stories.
As we celebrate together the progress you have made towards economic empowerment of our youth.
KCB to Jiajiri graduation, teaching the art of fishing.
It's a CEO's commitment.
Smart water for agriculture workshop towards food for all.
Been able to afford flood irrigation.
Isuzu East Africa Media Plant Tour, a cut above the rest. Thank you for staying with us. Now on to our top story. The KCB to Jiajiri, an initiative of KCB Foundation that has, through its technical training courses, aimed at equipping the young and micro entrepreneurs with essential skills that empower them to profitably turn their passion into reality, held its graduation ceremony today. Our reporter Karari John attended the event and tells us more.
KCB Foundation initiated the Tujiajiri program in 2016 with the name of youth empowerment through providing the youth with skills that will enable them to start their own enterprise. The program gives the participants access to funds and also connects them to the relevant markets.
The KCB Tujiajiri program.
And today, the third commencement ceremony to graduate students from its empowerment program took place. Youths from all walks of life flocked in their numbers at Kasarani Stadium. Destination, the indoor arena. Being a day of celebration, entertainment was in plenty, but also reflection was needed, and the KCB choir provided the right backdrop as the graduates looked back at the not-so-easy journey that led them to this moment. When the guest of honor arrived, patriotic songs and ululation rented the air, a clear indication that this was no ordinary guest, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
When it was time for his address, the president started by outlining how delighted he was to be at the function.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by saying that I'm delighted to join you this afternoon as we celebrate together the progress you have made towards economic empowerment of our youth. Nothing, indeed nothing, makes me happier than seeing the wonderful and enterprising young men and women of this nation prospering.
The president went ahead to thank KCB Foundation for its Tujiajiri program.
Further, I wish to acknowledge the contribution of the program to the realization of my administration's Big Four agenda. The Foundation's promotion of agribusiness for the youth in innovative agricultural practices, such as hydroponic farming, providing agri-produce aggregation, and commercial off-takers in local and export markets resonate with the food security goal that we have set as an administration.
To be able to build small micro-enterprises, and each of them...
President Uhuru, who is a UN Global Champion for Young People's Agenda, highlighted what his government is doing to support and uplift the youths.
Thanks also to the ease in accessing low-cost credit from government programs such as the UESO Fund, as well as other initiatives. To achieve, therefore, the objectives that we have set out for ourselves under the Big Four agenda, it is clear that we need a critical pool of human resources with appropriate technical skills. In this context, My government is laying heavy emphasis on vocational training. We have set aside some 30 billion Kenya shillings for this purpose in the next 3 years under the Technical and Vocational Training and Education Program, the NYS, as well as our polytechnics. And we are collaborating with the private sector under the Kenya Youth Employment and Opportunities Project to provide internships to support youth to acquire the prerequisite experience that employers require.
Nairobi mko hapa?
The head of state gave a word of advice to the youth, cautioning them against mischievous ways of making money.
Success is in business and being a successful entrepreneur is not how fast you make money. Don't be fast to make money, because that results in you taking shortcuts which tomorrow you will regret in life. It is being dedicated to what you do, providing good service at the right price, and moving away from this culture that we have in Kenya of tenderpreneurs to entrepreneurs, people who earn because of the sweat of their brow. And we want to support you in that. We are not here to emulate people who want to take shortcuts. We're here to tell you to take advantage of the skills that you have learned to make money, because we encourage you to make money and to employ your colleagues, your brothers and sisters across the country, but do it in the right way, through hard work,
Million young people today.
In his now signature unscripted fashion, the president had few words for the banking sector, whose players issue high interest loans and demand security as well.
Na mimi nashukuru vile nimesema wenzetu wa KCB kwa vile wamefanya. Na nataka pia kusema na tutakaa kwa wenzetu pia, all the other banking institutions. It is quite evident and clear that we can invest in our young people without necessarily asking them for title deeds to secure their loan, but securing the loan because of the technical and experience and the skills that we have imparted on them. This is the way. And that is the way to build a nation. That's the way to build a nation. Na mimi nasema tutawa engage. We gotta prepare your people. It cannot be that we are here to protect their interests alone. They must also help us develop and grow this country by extending affordable loans in a clear manner. Let us, as you have done, invest in their skills. Let us train them. Let us expose them. But then also let us give them then the capital to be able to do their business. And by so doing, we grow Kenya.
Thank you very much for...
Cabinet Secretary, Public Service, Youth and Gender Affairs, Professor Margaret Kobia, shared the commitment of her ministry.
I wish to reaffirm support to KCB to Jiajiri program and welcome more partnership of this nature. We are currently finalizing a new national youth policy in which we are all incorporating a comprehensive coordination framework to make it easier for private sector to partner with government in youth empowerment programs.
Thousands of them every year.
On his part, the host of the event, KCB Group CEO Joshua Oigara, narrated the journey of the foundation's program.
That's why we launched this program in 2016 as a catalyst to be able to build small micro-enterprises, and each of them was targeted to employ between 5 and 10 people in the next 3 to 5 years. And today we have trained over 30,000 of these businesses. And I get amazed every day I speak to the young people today. The energy, the enthusiasm, the believability, the energy that they have shows that we are emboldened as a business and as a team to work together.
To create business.
This was not the end, and on the future plans of KCB's Foundation to Jiajiri program, he had these to say.
For us, we intend in the next 3 to 5 years to build enterprises to create 1 million direct jobs for our economy. And because there's been major questions and challenges raised about access to credit in our market, we are committing today a program to lend 10 billion shillings every year for the next 5 years, which is 50 billion at a price of 9%. It will be the most affordable single-digit credit facility by commercial institutions in our market.
Widening growth of enterprise opportunities.
The magnitude of the day could not have been overemphasized, as it saw Her Excellency Rachel Ruto, Nairobi County Governor Mike Sonko, Kajiado County Governor Joseph Ole Lenku, Nairobi Senator Johnston Sakaja grace it with their presence among other leaders.
It's the work we are doing under Tujiajiri.
For every country to make a step, it must invest in its most young and valuable resource, that is the youth. With 5,000 young people graduating today from KCB Foundation, it's a clear statement to this effort. Now the ball is on the sides of the youth to use the skills they have acquired to start their own enterprises, because graduating is only but a starting point. Reporting for Brand Plus TV, I am Korari John Wambugu.
The National Irrigation Acceleration Platform, in collaboration with SNV Netherlands, has today in Nairobi held a workshop to share knowledge on various technological and best practices for improving the productivity of irrigated agriculture in the country. Our reporter Daisombo was present and filed the following report.
For technologies, for hardware, people will often just, in rural areas, people will go and have a...
While officiating the kickoff of the workshop, Principal Secretary, State Department for Irrigation, Professor Fred Segor, encouraged people to practice sustainable agriculture, all in an effort to fight hunger and lead quality lives.
So it is good for us to ensure that we carry out sustainable agriculture. And when we succeed in doing this, we will be able to ensure that our people are free from hunger. And if that is to happen, definitely we will be able to lead a quality life, acceptable quality life.
So we give complementary products.
He went on to state that his department will support the stakeholders as they continue working together to create a better society by working towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals.
We are calling upon all of us so that we work together to ensure that we achieve what we purpose to do in this country, so that we make our population to be better, our populace to be better in terms of ensuring that we achieve, as has been mentioned, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 2.
On matters selling of farm produce, the PES urged the stakeholders to work closely with the farmers so as to create reliable markets for them.
In this discussion you are having, I want us to emphasize the issue of marketing of farm produce. I think for a long time, agriculture has not done well, because when we have a pamper harvest, you will find that the prices are too low for the farmers to be encouraged to plant the next season. So while we are looking at smart ways of utilizing water solutions, let us also look at avenues of ensuring that we look for markets for the produce from our farmers.
Kenya has an irrigation potential of 1.3 million hectares, but only 12% of this land had been developed by 2013. Financing is integral in the adoption of smart irrigation practices by farmers. Towards this end, Florence Kariuki, Smart Water Solutions, pointed out that they have partnered with financial institutions to make funds accessible to the farmers.
In the Smart Water for Agriculture, access to finance is considered a key factor to adoption. And with a target of 12,500 farmers we aim to reach, then we have partnered with financial institutions, some who are here present today, others are not, and I will just mention them. For example, Sun Culture trying to pilot a pay-as-you-grow model, KCB, Equity, Amiran also trying to pilot an in-house credit.
Picking up the financing tone was Juliet Ongwae, Head of Innovation, Musoni Microfinance, who expounded on how they finance farmers and payment methods made available to them.
As I told you, leverage a lot on technology. Our loans can take same day, 24 hours kind of loans. We have flexible repayment terms. Most of the times we will take the asset that they are servicing for the loan for as collateral and nothing else, and we do grace periods. Sometimes also the repayment, the repayment or the loan can be based on other activities. So you're a farmer, you have a kiosk, you have cash flow.
Support to smallholder farmers in way of acquiring productive assets is done by Juhudi Kilimo, as Samuel Tobiko highlighted.
We have financial services to animal farming. This helps farmers acquire productive animals, for example, dairy cows, poultry, including bees. We also have a category for farm equipment where we are able to fund businesses in transport and farm equipment that are able to effectively reduce farm costs. We have also been able to give money for working capital at the farms and entrepreneurs who are supporting different value chains in the industry. And along with that, we've given out crop loans to help farmers acquire farm inputs to be able to produce more efficiently. We also launched a little bit later, 3 years back, 2 particular categories, one in renewable energy and another one in consumer loans, where we are able to give loans for efficient cookstoves and also solar to be able to contribute and reduce their carbon footprint. And as well, we've given out consumer loans. These are small loans that enable smallholder farmers acquire money for emergencies, for example, health and other particular business emergencies.
The incorporation of smart water solutions will see agricultural water productivity increase by 20%. 20,000 SME farmers already have access to smart water solutions, while 12,500 farmers will be able to access finances for smart water solutions. A hungry nation is not only an angry nation, but also one that cannot see development take place. As the country forges towards food security as envisaged by the Big Four agenda and the SDG 2, such efforts go a long way in enabling the realization of these goals. For Brand Plus TV Business News, I am Daisy Wambua.
So that we can both together deliver.
Well, on that agricultural note, let's head for a short commercial break. But do stay with us as we still have so much more lined up for you on the other side, including matters public transport. Welcome back and thank you for staying with Brand Plus TV. Now on to motor transport. Today, Isuzu East Africa invited journalists for a tour of the Isuzu East Africa Vehicle Assembly Plant along Mombasa Road. The plant tour involved a look at the current standards governing bus assembly, with Isuzu officials sharing insights on how the market has performed, how it will close, and the challenges they faced in 2018. Take a look. While addressing the media, Fred Wasike, Director Human Resources and Administrative Division, said that the year has brought with it good fortunes for the industry. This is evidenced by Isuzu's 10% increase in production.
The auto industry in Kenya has been on the rise. Looking back to last year, where the industry size was about 10,000 units, we're talking about new. This year, we are looking at 11,000. That is about a 10% increase. So generally, the industry is on the rise. Within the East African region, Uganda has been on the rise as far as our business is concerned. Tanzania just picking up.
However, Wasike was quick to point out that the rapid growth of the industry continues to be stifled by the importation of used cars into the country.
The biggest challenge is on imports, used car business. For the Kenyan context, the age limit is 8 years, but within the other countries in the region, in Uganda, the age limits are much lower than that. So we have most of these used vehicles coming into our country through these many routes.
Even with such challenges, Emmanuel Ogot, Director Manufacturing, Engineering and Supply Chain Division Isuzu, noted that the company is finding ways of aligning itself to emerging trends to diversify its stock. One of the ways they are doing this is through their cold storage trucks aligned to the food security pillar of the Big Four agenda.
We've had an opportunity to look at what we are doing in our Bus Technology Center, some of the innovative things we are doing to provide the solutions, like we talked about the cold chain. And cold chain, as was explained, is to be able to ensure that our product, agricultural product, we have very little wastage in terms of preserving the food, and that helps in being able to ensure that whatever comes out in the farm, in our farms, are able to reach the consumer with very minimal wastage, and that helps in the food, in terms of food security, and also in health. Food that reaches the end consumer is in a state that it can be consumed, it is well preserved, and therefore, in terms of health, that is appropriate.
During the close of the financial year 2017, Isuzu had sold 3,100 units, while in 2018, it has sold 3,671, an 18% growth. The brand is the market leader in its segment, commanding a 39.6% market share. Despite the challenging economic times, it is evident that brands that are responsive to consumer needs keep winning the revenue war.
It's not the distance from this seat to this seat.
East African countries and the East Africa Revenue Authorities have today convened in Nairobi to deliberate on how to build capacity to enhance cross-border trade and customs controls in the East African region, all in an effort to promote economic development and regional integration. Our reporter Daisy Wambo attended the meeting and filed the following report.
Kenya Revenue Authority Commissioner General John Giraini urged stakeholders to find ways of harmonizing cross-border trade.
The benefits of trade facilitation cannot be gainsaid. We know and we have seen them and we have appreciated them, especially within the EAC. Has the need for us as individual revenue authorities, but also as the EAC, to continue to focus on this important subject.
Thank you. He also stated the need for a unified system that will be used by all East African countries to verify goods on transit.
It's very integration and compatibility is very important, and at some point we have decided that we will start walking the journey to create one platform and different users. So instead of talking about different systems, ICMS, TANSIS, SECUDA, we have one EAC system in which we are defined as users, and therefore you can access information easily, conveniently, depending on your access rights.
On behalf of JICA, I am honored to make a few remarks at the second.
Africa Chief Representative Japan International Cooperation Agency, Keiko Sano, pointed out the need to create more sustainable mechanism to foster cross-border trade in the region.
To create more sustainable capacity building mechanism within the institutions, considering the frequent staff rotation.
And it's really a pleasure to be here.
Brenda Mundia, Deputy Director, Capacity Building Directorate, acknowledged the integral role the continued partnerships have played.
I'd also like to offer particular thanks to JICA for the continued partnership with the WCO and for the generous financial support that is enabling the WCO and JICA to jointly support the ESC partner states in their trade facilitation and border control agenda.
For Brown Plus TV Business News, I am Daisy Wambua.
Let us now take a look at how the markets performed today. Here is a summary. Well, that is just a summary of how the markets performed, but for more in-depth analysis of the same, tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for my next big bet with Brechin Deritu and Karanja Daniel. Let's now take a look at the weather report. That is it from the Business News Desk tonight. On behalf of everyone that made it a success, we want to say thank you for watching. Catch us again tomorrow at 9 p.m. same place for a fresh serving of news-making headlines in the business world. Have a good night.